What is up, every people? Welcome to the Mad Poet Show. Looks like we've got a couple people tuning in from Nemo today. Don't see that quite as often. Says, nice to see you again. So busy Thursdays, so can't enter our room. Totally understandable. Yeah. Hey, thanks for being here, though. It's great to see people watching from some of the different channels. I stream out to 12 different websites, and most of them don't really ever get many views. Most of the views come from YouTube and Twitch, but it's always nice to see people talking on the other channels. If you happen to be watching from Africa TV, you're the only chat that I'm unable to see. I've never been able to figure out the chat for that one to get it to work with my system, but yeah, I do remember you being in here quite some time back. It didn't seem like 3 months. That was back when we got really sick with food poisoning about 3 months ago, and it was brutal. I think you were probably just before that. You followed me on all the platforms. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate that. That's awesome, and I'm glad you made it back. This is really cool. I'm still doing my normal, I stream on Fridays at noon, 8 Pacific time zone. And then I've been adding on a lot more of these just kind of random midweek streams, doing other things. And it's been a lot of fun. So, you can kind of catch me whenever it happens to come up. That's excellent. All right, so that song we just played was called The First Excursus. Right now we're playing my 7th album. It is called Parentheticals. And that first song is dedicated to my buddy John. I don't know if John made it today because this was just an impromptu stream. I texted him right before we started saying, hey, I'm going live with your song. He's probably out doing John stuff, but John's kind of an important figure in Mad Poet history because he's largely the reason we're actually here doing this. I was doing a series of shows at a coffee shop, and John would come in and just watch me play. And it started, I was just, you can't really see it here with this red guitar right here. I was just sitting in the corner just playing that, just noodling around, very light stuff in the background. One day John comes in and he dares me to sing a Taylor Swift song in one of my coffee shop shows. And that dare turned into all of this. I did do it. I did teardrops on my guitar, and I kind of made a metal version of it that I've never published, but it was very fun. And basically that set me up for it set me on the path to doing all of my albums. I've to date released 64 full-length albums, and so that's where that started, because I just kind of had to change my process for doing those shows. So that dare turned into all that, and then with all those albums, I eventually was like, well, I could do this whole streaming thing. That could be kind of cool. And so it just kind of morphed into all of this. So thank you, John, if you're out there listening. Thank you very much for that dare. That was awesome, and it did me a lot of good. John is a very cool guy. He's an author, and he's got a very good blog that he writes on regularly, and just I think very highly of my man John. So let's continue. Let's play some more music. So this next piece is an interesting one. Now, I just decided, like at 2 o'clock last night before I went to bed, that I was going to do this album today just for kicks, and I haven't really practiced it. And this next song is one that I usually screw up. So let's see what happens here. We got a little intro music for this one. Let's see how this goes. This one is called But I Digress. And moving right on along. All right, where are we at here? So for anyone who may be just coming in, right now we are just doing a random Thursday stream just for kicks. I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. You are now an official member, whether you like it or not, because that's the way we do things here. Because I'm mean, as you can probably tell. Nonetheless, right now we are playing my 7th album. It is called Parentheticals. That last song was called But I Digress. And I gotta say, that was one of my better run-throughs of that. Usually I just like mash that one all up, which is crazy because there's nothing hard about soloing over that song in F minor. We're gonna move up to G minor on this next song. Pick up the pace a little bit. Kind of a medium paced, up-paced piece. We get a little bit of water. Everyone should hydrate. Water's definitely the best thing going out there. It's a beautiful thing. Feeling good. Hope everyone is doing well out there in Mad Poet Land. Let's do this. This song is called Contentless Cognition. Contentless Cognition. This next piece here is called Infelicitous Results. It's in A minor. And this song, I've talked about this before when playing this album. This is one of those songs that I don't really care for all that much. But I do tend to get positive comments about it when people listen to it. So it's one of those things where it's like, I'm rolling through an album, I'm like, I kind of want to skip this song. But I'm glad that I don't, because other people like stuff that I don't like. It's crazy. I have put out a lot of songs, over 600. And of those, particularly, I know for me personally, my absolute least favorite has always been a song called The Battle Hymn of the Fallen Warrior, which is a great song title. And that is definitely one of my best titles. But the song is I don't think I brought it to fruition well. I think the concept was good. I don't think that that the final product was not what I wanted. But I have had really only good comments about it from people who listened to it. So yeah, I always play all the songs on the album, whether I like them or not. And this one, I don't know. There's just something about the feel of this one that I don't know. Other people seem to like it though. So let's do it. A minor, 130 beats a minute. This song is called Infelicitous Results. Infelicitous Results. And I need to move this smoke machine a little bit because that just blasted right into my face. That was not where I expected that to be pointing. We'll try that again on the next song. Oh, good times, good times. Stephen Paris. Love the bridge song. Love the bridge section. This song hits home as I am coping with incontinent results. Yes, I hope that you enjoy your incontinence, my friend Stephen, because who doesn't enjoy a good bout of incontinence? It's a beautiful thing. Welcome on, welcome all. Thank you for being here. Looks like we've got a few people watching on Nemo, which is usually one of my slower platforms. We've got Stephen coming into us from Facebook. And for anyone else who's out there watching from any of the platforms, thank you very much for being here. I do appreciate it. Just kind of doing a random stream today. I will be doing my normal noon and 8 p.m. Pacific time streams tomorrow, as I do every Friday. I'm not sure which albums I will be playing tomorrow, but I am planning on playing. So I may actually have to cut my early show a little bit short because we have a furnace guy coming out. We get our furnace inspected twice a year because we like to not blow up from our gas furnace. We like to make sure that's working well. But streams will go on. Nonetheless, wherever you're coming from, thank you very much for being here. I do appreciate it. So today we're playing my 7th album, Parentheticals. That last song was called Infelicitous Results, which excited Stephen very much because of his incontinent results. And we all appreciate that about Stephen. Stephen is, as I've pointed out before, one of the wittiest people I've ever met. He's a very cool guy. So thank you very much, everyone, for being here, even and including my good man, Stephen Paris. Let's move forward. This next piece, we're going to do a lot of triplets in this piece. I kind of went for a triplet time feeling this. This is called Failure to Reconcile. I already forget what that song was called. Smoke Machine didn't punch me in the face this time, though. That made me very happy. What we got going on here? What we got going on is that, ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the G sharp minor portion of the show. You are welcome. Because that's what we do. Stephen Paris says, so how do you do this? Have you memorized all the guitar parts from all of your albums, or are you sight reading charts? Either way, that is pretty amazing. Thank you for the compliment, and that's a great question. And it's a little bit of a combination of things. So I do not memorize my albums. When I did my very first album, which released back in 2004, that was recorded up at Riverside Studios in Granite Falls, and that was all from memory. I had a couple different drummers I worked with, and we hashed out all the parts. Everything was memorized. Nothing was written down. Well, I had a few notes, but that was all from memory. And now I don't remember how to play any of that. I mean, a couple of little riffs. This stuff, I approach my composition very differently now, and everything is written out in sheet music form. And I use a program called Sibelius, which is a fairly high-end program for sheet music. And what I like about that program is it enables me to actually have the sheet music scrolling on the screen while I do this. So when I'm playing rhythm guitar parts, I am reading off of the sheet music. And I will generally go through and play an album, or at least go through and play parts of an album the night before that I play that. So like last night I went through this for about 15 minutes, just made sure I kind of remembered where the sections were and stuff. So I've got a bit of an idea about it, but definitely not memorized. And then when I'm doing the guitar solos, those are just pretty much entirely improvised. On my later, and not so much on this album, but on my later albums, I will have a motif that I've set up. So by motif, I mean that I will write like 1 or 2 measures, maybe 4 measures of a guitar solo. And that kind of just sets the mood for what I might do with the guitar solo thereafter. And so that part will also be on the sheet music. And having this capacity to have the sheet music scrolling for me is basically what enables me to do these shows. And then everything else, all the lights, are set up. The camera changes that you see, the actual sheet music scrolling, that's all controlled by my recording program. So I'm essentially playing through a recording. I just don't hit record, I hit stream instead. And so that's the basic way that I'm set up, and it's a fun setup. I really like it. I like my light show. I like the camera move. The camera movement is kind of an interesting thing because, as people probably gather, I'm an energetic little guy. I like to move around and do stuff. And I've had some very good fortune as a musician. I've played on some very large stages, and I've had some very good crowds turn out for some of those shows. With metal and punk bands that I've played with in the past. And that's awesome, and I like to have the room to move around, but in here it's a very different type of performance. I kind of have to let the cameras be part of the action, and I have a much smaller area to move around in, and so that's why I've got the, jump up here from time to time and kind of do some different things. So great question. Thanks for asking. And so if anyone else does have any questions, feel free to put those up in any of the various chats that you're working with, and I will do my best to answer them. I do like answering questions, but it's also okay to just be shy and watch from a distance. That's what the internet is for. Nonetheless, G sharp minor portion. This is one of these song titles that I've said that if people were to judge my personality based solely on my song titles, they would very much get the wrong impression of who I am. And this is an example of that. This song in G sharp minor at approximately 120 beats per minute is titled An Elegant Expression of Hatred. an elegant expression of hatred. It's the best kind, really. If you're going to express your hatred, you might as well do it elegantly. We're going to slow it down here a little bit. Again, thank you everybody for coming in. I do appreciate it. Just a random stream today for fun. I enjoy playing guitar. I enjoy streaming. So I thought, hey, maybe I could just do both at the same time. Like I do all the time. Nonetheless, we're going to slow it down here a little bit. I'm going to use my neck pickup with my little pickup selector switch, because that's how I do that. The song is called Hanging by a Thread. Everybody stop what you're doing right now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our chat off of YouTube. The one, the only, obscure mysticism cults. Thanks for being here. Good to see you. Heavy Thursday indeed. For those who may be coming in a little late, I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. This is what we do. We play guitar, talk about stuff. Right now we're playing my 7th album, which is called Parentheticals. We're moving in toward the end of our little random afternoon show here. Got 3 songs left. We just played our G sharp minor portion, so a very opportune time for Obscure to come in. And now we're gonna just take one little sharp out of our key signature, turn our G sharp minor into a C sharp minor. The song is called I Had a Thought. have our first errant light of the day. And it's time for my lighting crew to take care of that. Here I go. One of my students has recently asked me about my setup for streaming and what I kind of do to get ready for a show and all that. And we were talking a lot about the technical aspects of what have to happen in a show like this, because I don't have a crew, and I've done shows before where we do have, a crew for the lights and a crew for the sound, and we got big stage setups and, fire safety, and I've done some pretty interesting shows, but here it's all me. It's just this, and basically my lighting crew is the program. But if anything goes wrong, that's all me, which I really like. It's kind of cool being like, hey, I can't blame anybody else if my show doesn't come off right, if I don't start on time, or if I don't have my guitar set up right, or whatever. That's all me, and it's kind of a good feeling doing it for yourself, as we say. So we're going to slow down a little bit again here. We got 2 songs left of the afternoon. If anyone's coming in a little late, I am the Mad Poet. You are an audience. We are the Mad Poet Society. This is what we do. We're playing my 7th album. It's called Parentheticals. This next song, slowing it down a little bit before we pick it back up for the finale. The song is called That Depends on You. All right, gangsters, we got one song left of today's show. Thank you very much for stopping into my random Thursday stream. I have really been enjoying doing these kind of random, just whenever streams. I still do my regular Friday streams at noon and 8 p.m. Pacific time zone. Feel free to adjust for your own time zone and stop in if you are so inclined. We would love to have you there. We got one more song left. This is a song heavily inspired by one of my favorite bands, a band called Camelot. If you are not familiar with the band Camelot, you should be, because they're awesome and amazing and all of that kind of crap. I've seen them live a couple of times, got to do a meet and greet once at one of their concerts. Got a photo with them, and it was a very good experience. They're amazing live. Very, very great music, power metal type stuff. And this, like I said, I was kind of in a Camelot mood when I wrote this, and it was. If you are familiar with Camelot's music, you won't be hearing a cover tune, but you'll probably be comfortable. Random streams are a good time. I really agree with that. Obscure mysticism cults. I think there's something to be said for a regular schedule, but I think there's something to be said for, hey, I feel like rocking out. Let's do this. So thank you very much, everyone, for being here. We got one song left. This song is called A Final Excursus. wasn't quite ready for the end of the song there. I had a good time today. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming in. It's great to see everyone. I will be back tomorrow at noon and 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific time zone. Make sure I get all this right here. I'm the Mad Poet. You are an audience. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for smelling my show. I do appreciate it. I hope you had a good time. Obscure Mysticism Cult says that was awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate the compliments. And I will be back tomorrow. If you like my music, feel free to check out themadpoet.net, where there are links to all my albums are on there, streamable for free, and links to places to see my videos and everything. So, yes, see you tomorrow. Everyone have a great day. Thank you very much. That is it for the Mad Poet on this fantastic